Oh, do you want me to do it? Oh, you've done it. Oh, there you
Uh,
go.
All right. Good morning, Australia.
Yeah, bright and early.
It's saying uploaded details. Uploading. I'm not
Well, I
sure what
can hear
that
you
means.
fine, and hopefully all the people listening around Australia can hear us fine.
All right. Well, good morning, Australia. This is Conversation Special Edition, early edition.
Very
Um,
early edition.
what have you read in the news this morning, Brad? I know you don't read the news, but did you have a chance to see anything?
Nah.
I saw something very interesting this morning.
Oh
This
yeah.
morning they announced that Channel 10 Studio 10 morning show has just been axed.
Oh no. What a
Well, I never liked
shame.
the show anyway,
I've literally
but
never watched it.
yeah, it's really cringeworthy if you've seen it. Anyway, long story short is they've axed it, and now get this, they're complaining, as in the show hosts that lost their jobs. They've just been reassigned. That they're not losing their jobs; they're just being reassigned. But
Hmm.
they're complaining that the email that announced that their show had been axed wasn't sensitive enough.
Look, I mean, to be fair, it's not the nicest way to get like fired by email. You'd want like a conversation at least.
Yeah, true, but I just feel like everyone's so sentimental. I mean, this at the end of the day, they're still going to lose their job. Like, anyway, maybe I'm just a bit old school, fired by email, no problem on my opinion.
The extent of morning TV watching that I used to do, Robbie, was when I was in primary school, getting up at 5 in the morning to go and watch Dragon Ball Z. So
I don't even
so I
know what that
can't say
is.
I can honestly say I have never watched a morning TV show. I've never watched
Really, not
any
even
of them.
Carl.
No, I don't even know who that is.
Wow, I'm uh, I'm impressed and shocked at the same time.
There's more important things to do in the morning, like sleep.
Yeah, true, true. Well, actually, I've always had to get up early, so I don't know what
Oh,
sleep
okay,
is.
there you go.
So let's have a look. What else is happening in the news? Because I know you don't like news at all.
I
But
don't mind news. I just don't pay much attention to it
let's
directly.
see. Someone, cop killer. That's not exciting. Trump's ex lawyer has now made shocking election claim. Foreign countries behind massive cybercrime surge. Interesting.
See, this is why I don't care about it because none of it really makes a difference on my day-to-day life.
Two more complaints made against BBC about Russell Brand.
Oh
Cop
no,
shot in
the
gun
poor
battle in
BBC.
Outback Airport. Free to air TV battles against streaming giants for free choice.
Oh no. See, this is pretty much all of this is just advertising, right? It's apart from maybe the gunfight in the outback. It's
And
all
then
just telling you about it.
the rest of the front page is all sport.
See, that's all right. I can deal with that.
I'm surprised there's not a single thing on here about Israel and Palestine.
Which publication is it?
It's just Nine News.
Oh, okay. Mm.
So, for the people that are watching us, this is a good morning test for
Mm-hmm.
conversations. We're just checking to see if things are working smoothly.
Yep.
If you're watching this, and I know some of you are, I can see you, let me know if you've got anything you want us to talk about in this test.
Yep.
And if you don't, I'm just going to keep waffling for another couple of minutes because to make sure that things are working smoothly. How's it feeling, Brad? Is it feeling like everything's running well?
It's feeling good. Robbie, we're actually testing out at the moment also some AI based transcription for this.
For this?
Yeah, yeah.
And
So
how are
in
we
some
doing
of
that?
the in some of the software we've got running here, they've upgraded it, and now we've got it using the Whisper model that OpenAI uses to transcribe our show, and
And
it
where's
seems
that
to be working
transcription
pretty well.
going?
Sorry, how is it going? Yeah.
Where does it go? Where does the
Oh, I've got
transcription
it.
go?
I've got it. I
So
don't
it's not
just we don't just give
going
it
to the
away.
main world.
It's going to train a special AI model for conversations. So one day it won't even be me; it'll just be the Brad bot.
You can't get much smarter than you, Brad.
Oh, thanks, mate.
You know
I
everything
think
about everything. Let me
I
pick a
wouldn't mind
random
having.
topic. Let me pick a
Like
random
surely
topic.
you've seen like some of those TV shows where someone makes a clone of themselves so that the clone can do all of the
Yes.
all of the drudge
It
work.
never ends well.
No, it doesn't.
They normally end up stealing the girlfriend or the wife or something.
Yeah, that's right.
So watch
Oh,
out,
well.
Bianca. Okay,
Well, look,
let's test your general knowledge. Tell me something interesting about Australia Post. I'm just looking at the things in the news right now.
something interesting about Australia Post.
Mm.
I don't know. Um, they never seem to get my parcels to me on time, but that's probably not interesting.
What about IKEA? Anything interesting about IKEA?
Um, IKEA actually, okay, I do know something interesting about IKEA. IKEA actually accepts if you have some of their older products, you can actually take them back and they will buy them back from you.
Is that right?
Yeah,
See?
so
Wealth
you're
of
probably not
knowledge.
going to get, yeah, you're not going to get, market, well, you'll get market rates, you're not going to get full price or anything, but I think the idea is to say, oh, okay, trade in your old table or something, and you get I don't know if you get cash or a credit or something like that, but the idea would be you give them your old IKEA stuff and you get new IKEA stuff.
Wow. I didn't know this.
Yeah, I found it out the other day when I was in at IKEA. So yeah,
So did you sell your old stuff?
nah,
You keep your old stuff.
yeah, exactly. I'm too cheap.
So what are we going to do on today's show for this afternoon?
It's a good question. There's lots of different things. Actually, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Marianne, who was listening the other week, and what was it? She actually responded to one of our questions, and I missed her response, and I felt really bad about that. We were talking about this idea that when you talk about like either a memory or you talk to someone from a different country, and if you're a really empathetic person, you actually start to take on little bits of their accent.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I've seen it happen so many times. And like I
Is
was
that why
just
my wife, when she talks to her mother, she starts speaking with a European accent, and when she talks to me,
probably,
she has nothing?
yeah, I reckon. Well, it means she
Yeah,
likes you at least.
empathetic.
Yeah, so anyway, we threw that out as a question just to see if other people experience the same sort of thing. And yeah, it turns out there's quite a few people who, they see this phenomena happening, that when you either are talking about a memory from, when you're in England or something like that, you'll start to speak with a slightly English accent. Or when you're talking to or about a person that you like from a different country, you may start to swing into a little bit of that country's accent. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Anyway, so Marianne had sent in a message saying she'd seen that happen before, and even in herself, and when she talks about the different countries she's visited and that sort of thing. So it's interesting stuff.
well, chances are she's not watching right now, so you'll have to
Probably
repeat
not.
all this later on.
That's all right. We can give
All
her a
right,
shout out later.
what else are we going to talk about?
What do you want to talk about? You're the one who's been away.
Hey, for the people that are watching right now, this is a good morning test. Let us know. What do you think we should talk about on the show this afternoon at,
Mhm.
is it 2 o'clock still?
Yep, 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock?
2 o'clock Melbourne time, so 3 o'clock. Wait, 3 o'clock
1 o'clock
Queensland
up here.
time? Oh, 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never know if it's backwards or forwards. Or
Yeah, we're always behind Queensland.
love Queensland. Yeah, it's important. Like here at Faith FM, we do tests from time to time when we're upgrading software and hardware and stuff, and so that we can make sure things are actually working for the important shows.
Yes. And we're
Which
going to have a
is the fun.
giveaway today.
Mm.
It's going to be a good giveaway. And I'm just surprised at the number of people tuning in to watch this thing. But anyway, good morning, guys.
Yeah,
Hey,
good
what's
morning.
happening in your part of the world? Send us a comment on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you're watching this from. Let us know what you're up to, what you had for breakfast. What are you doing today? Are you at work? Probably not, unless you're in the toilet on your phone or something watching this. But
That's all right.
yeah, let us
No
know
judgment.
what you're thinking. And
Yep.
yeah, we're interested to know. We're planning our show for today because conversations is really a conversation that happens in real time.
Hmm.
And I've been away for a few weeks because we've been on the road, but we're excited to do a show today. We're going to lose Alicia I think she's gone on a long weekend.
As she always tells us, oh, it's her last day.
Yeah, man. The first time she did that to me was yesterday, and I was having a planning meeting with her, and I get on Zoom with her, and she goes, "I just let you know today's my last day," and I literally my heart stopped because I was like, "What? Who told?
When did this happen?
No one told me." And
Uh,
and then she cracks up, and I'm like, "Oh, you! I could get her back now.
she's done it to me a few
I
times.
should do an email fire. I should fire her by email by joke."
Oh man,
No, we love Alicia, doing
me
a good
too.
job.
She's great. I'll tell you what
Yeah.
I made the other day, Robbie. I made, and maybe with your wife being European, you might have experienced some of these sorts of things. I made some aniseed biscotti.
Can't say I've ever heard of that one.
Oh, okay. Have you ever had
Aniseed
aniseed
biscotti.
before?
Aniseed, yes, but what's biscotti?
So biscotti is like I guess it's the Italian word for biscuit, but it's kind of like a bready kind of biscuit that you bake
Okay.
and then you kind of toast it, and it's really really good.
Is it sweet though, or is it savory?
Yeah, it's sweet. It's not
So
it's kind of in between. You know those things that are like it's not like you're not putting as much sugar in there as you are putting flour. One of those type of
So
things.
is it like an Anzac cookie or something, or not?
Yeah.
So
I
what
don't
does it
know.
look like though? Okay, I've got to Google this thing. What is it called?
Okay. Biscotti.
Aniseed.
Biscotti. BISCOTTI. To anybody listening, aniseed biscotti is really nice. There's not a heap of places. I don't know if it's a mainstream thing.
It looks like it looks like it's not what I was expecting.
You don't look
it-
impressed.
It looks like what's the bruschetta bread?
Yeah,
It's
it's
bruschetta
kind of
bread,
like that.
right?
I don't know. I
It's
don't know
like-
if there's a particular term for it. Bread.
Yeah, I was expecting something to look like a cookie, but it looks more like a flat bread that's been sliced into toast.
Yeah, yeah.
It
That's
doesn't look
pretty much what
appealing
it
to
is.
me, but anyway, I'm
Okay.
sure it tastes good.
It is really nice. And you get like you put some honey. And this is why you don't make it super, super sweet, because you put like some honey on it.
Yeah.
And it tastes really
Since we're
brings
talking
out
about
like the
since
aniseed
talking
flavour.
about food, the other day, I used to cook a lot before I got married,
Mhm.
and then since we got married, I cook occasionally, like maybe once every couple of weeks. Anyway, the other day I had an urge to cook, so I thought, let me do something here. And so one of the things I love cooking is I love
Mhm.
cooking Asian food, especially Thai food. Like
Oh, yeah. Yep.
because I used to be a big Italian cook. Like I used to cook that back in the days when I was single. Everything was
Mhm.
Italian: spaghetti bolognese, lasagna, whatever else Italian is, but Italian, right? Anyway,
Bruschetta,
over the-
pizza.
yeah, pizza, all that sort of stuff. Over the
Yep.
years, though, I've shifted from Italian. I've fixated on Thai or
Do you
Asian,
still like
Malaysian.
cheese?
I'm trying to cut that out. I'm trying to, but it's
okay.
very, very difficult. But anyway, so cooking Thai is my latest thing. Well, when I say latest, I've been doing it for like probably 10 years. Anyway, the other day I decided I want to cook something. So I thought, let me try and do one of my favorite dishes, or my wife's favorite dish. My favorite dish is sort of the pad ki mao, which is the spicy, it's really, really spicy basil, normally a bit of chili, and it's like the fat rice noodle, the fat
Is
ones.
that the one you get peanuts in as well, or?
No, that's pad thai. So pad thai
okay.
has the crushed peanuts with lemon or lime, and it's got the thin noodles. Like they're
Yep.
flat, but they're thin. So pad ki mao is like it's a thick rice noodle. Like looks like it looks like tapeworm, but anyway.
Do you get a lot of is it one with like lots of soy sauce in it, or?
So there's two. There's pad siu and pad ki mao. They're
Mhm.
very similar, but pad ki mao is super spicy, whereas pad siu is more the smoky, very black. Like it's got a lot of the soya sauces and. Anyway,
Yep.
I've tried cooking in the past, and it never tastes like it does when you get it to the restaurant. Right? The
Yeah,
flavors it's just not there. Anyway, so the other day I was in Albury doing a Faith FM event. Which was awesome, by the way. Like we had 123 people come out to a Faith
Nice.
FM dinner, and
That's awesome.
then they came. We had 60 something people every night for 3 nights after that to a masterclass Bible prophecy thing. Anyway, hey, we've got a first comment on the morning test. Um, breakfast was marmalade on toast. Could you explain why the new city Jerusalem has a wall around it on Earth? Wow, two things in one text. Marmalade on toast. I haven't had marmalade in decades. Have you?
Um, I had a. See, I don't mind making marmalades from time to time.
But do you eat
Well, that's a different question. Yeah, I do,
it?
but not heaps. Like it's usually just from whatever's left over on the random fruit trees and stuff. But I'm not a huge marmalade person. I'm not a huge breakfast person, you know? I just like for breakfast, I'll just eat fruit.
Well, that's because you're waking up too late. You already said you sleep in. Breakfast
It's
happens at
not.
6 o'clock, mate. That's why it's called a
If
breakfast
someone
show.
else makes me breakfast, oh yeah, yeah. Well, I would struggle to be on the breakfast show. That's a lifestyle, you know. Like full credit to Danuta and to Lawson and to Lyle and Mon and everybody who's been
Who's
hosts
done a
on the
breakfast
breakfast
show?
show.
Yeah,
It's tough, having if you're starting at 6, you got to be up at probably 4:30 or something like that because you got to get in there. You got to spend a bit of time planning, testing, making sure everything works. Shout out to Michelle as well, who's
yeah, the
there
producer.
every day.
Yeah, those guys are doing a fantastic job. I've
Mm.
I've I've been roped in a number of times to be on the breakfast show, and one time, this year it was, we did a week long. I did a week long with them.
Oh yeah.
We were at broadcasting from the North East South Wales big camp, and mate, my day was starting at 4:30, and had to drive to the studio. Got in there. Had the producers were already there.
Mm.
And then me and Lawson would sit down and we'd be planning out what news articles we're going to talk about, what the show was, what the Bible study. Like we're doing all that. It happens every morning before the show. Like it's not pre-planned the day before because you don't know what the news is going to be, right?
Yeah, it's true.
And so anyway, then the on air button starts, and then it's nothing but like go 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 for 2 hours straight, and then
Yep.
you get off that and it's just like oh so drained. But it was good. I mean, I enjoyed the week, but yeah, it's a lifestyle
Mm.
thing for sure.
Yeah,
Doing
absolutely.
that.
It's an interesting thing, like we can give people a little insight into what it's like working in radio. Like it's a very high energy thing to do, to be doing a live show.
Absolutely.
Um, it's a lot of fun, but it's like the the best way I've heard it described is like it's like being a primary school teacher.
Yes.
You have to,
Have the energy
you're
for the little
really,
kiddies.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And whether you're an old kiddie or a little kiddie listening, we love you either way.
Well, the thing is, when you're listening to radio, this is the thing, right? If you just sit on radio and you talk like you're normally talking to someone, unless you're like a super passionate person, you don't talk
Yep.
with so much energy. You kind of just like have a conversation, right? But
Mm.
if you do that same conversation on air and you're listening to it, it sounds so flat.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just like, man, guy, where's your enthusiasm? Where's your energy? And so
Yep.
it's kind of like you got to go up just a notch. But that notch going up, depending on type of personality you are, it can be pretty intense and pretty draining.
Yeah, absolutely. And even just the little things that you're doing there, like things like moving your arms around. Sometimes people don't think about that. You think, oh, you're working in radio. Oh, you just sit there behind a microphone and you talk. But it's in the same way that when you have a conversation with someone normally, it's the body language, the animation, all of that translates to how your voice sounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, we're getting way off topic here. Marmalade. No, I don't really eat marmalade much.
Okay, so Jenny was asking about marmalade. Awesome. I haven't. Yeah, I haven't had marmalade in a very long time. Looking forward to trying again now, though. I think I got some in the cupboard somewhere. Okay, New Jerusalem, the wall thing. Maybe we'll talk about that. We'll answer that one this afternoon. And we'll do a bit of a Q&A. We'll answer that one this afternoon because it's that will take the whole test just to explain that one. But anyway, look, I haven't finished my Patsy U story. My Patsy U story.
Yeah.
So what happened was I was in Albury, and I was staying with some people down there they're friends of mine that I knew from Malaysia. They've moved to Australia this year, and I haven't seen them for about probably 6 years.
Yep.
Anyway, they're from Malaysia, and so I was sitting there, and Yi is her name. That's my friend's wife. She's Malaysian, obviously, and she was cooking Malaysian food. And I was eating Malaysian food every morning, right? They're making me breakfast in Malaysian style. I was like, man, living the dream. So I came back from there and I was like, man, I just want to have some more Asian food. And so I said to my wife, I was telling her all the great dishes I was having when I was down there, and she's like, well, why don't you cook something? I said, all right, I will. So I go to the cupboard and I pull out all the stuff, and I'm like, I'm gonna make pad ki mao. So I get we had the noodles. Now these are the dry ones. You gotta soften them up and everything before you can cook them. So I Googled, not Googled, ChatGPT'd how to cook authentic pad ki mao, which is pad see ew but spicy. Anyway, it gave me the most amazing recipe for the sauce.
Oh.
And so I followed every step. There was corn flour, which I've never ever thought of using in Asian food, but corn flour.
Yep. To thicken it up a bit.
Yeah, to thicken it up. Then light soy sauce and dark soy sauce. I only ever use light. I don't like dark. Dark's too sweet, whereas light is more salty. I like the salty. But anyway, it's a mixture of both. Some lime juice. What else was in there? This one I was shocked, but anyway, I did it. 1 teaspoon of brown sugar, which I didn't know there was sugar in Thai food, but apparently there is.
Oh,
anyway, long story short, I follow the recipe, do it all up, put it all in, mix it all up. It tasted like the restaurant. And I was like, where have I been living all this time?
See, that's really interesting. I think it's particularly the brown sugar, because when you cook it, it has like a darker flavor. I don't know how to describe it.
Like caramelizing.
It caramelizes, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas like refined sugar doesn't do the same thing, and you end up with a very. I was looking up a picture of pad ki mao when you were talking about that, and the problem was it came up with a picture of a cat wearing like a those Thai straw hats, and it said pad ki meow. And I was like, oh, not exactly the same thing. But
the challenge with cooking it though, right? The flavor is one thing. You get the flavor, it tastes good. But the one challenge that I always have with Asian cooking, because Asian cooking generally, and especially Thai and Chinese and stuff and Malaysian, is they really get the heat up. Like they got heat. It's so hard to get the heat off your home oven or stove, or what you want to call it. Yeah. Because I got a wok, but I got gas. But I don't know. I just can't, like, it's like the gas in the house does not get just hot enough and intense enough. So you get the heat, but you don't get the speed. So like when you're doing a stir fry, you kind of want it in there and you sizzle stuff up and get it out fast. Otherwise, if it goes too long, it goes soggy, right? And that's always the challenge. The veggies go soggy because they're not cooked otherwise. But if they're cooked, then they're too, So that's always my challenge. So one day I'm going to invest in a commercial stove.
Well, if you're wanting some help to get it spicier, our radio engineer, Paul Holton, who actually works with us here at Faith FM as well, he is an absolute pro when it comes to growing chilies.
Is that right?
Yep. So from time to time, he actually sends me a parcel from where he is in Queensland, South Queensland, down here to Victoria, and I make some hot sauces and stuff from it. He grows very good chilies.
That's cool. Yeah, he showed us the other day in a team meeting because you weren't there, but he showed us a great big chili, like it was probably like this long.
Oh, nice.
And he's like, I'll have to send him down to Brad. Yeah. Anyway, I think we've proved the test.
Yeah, things seem to be working, and if they're not, nobody's been complaining in the comments. So that's all we need to know.
Yeah.
Beauty. Yeah. Well, we invite everyone to make sure you tune in this afternoon at. It's going to be 2:00 if you're in Melbourne. If you're in Victoria or New South Wales or Tassie, it'll be 1:00 if you're in Queensland, and if you're in South Australia, it'll be 1:30. And I think if you're in Western Australia, it will be 12:00. It might even be 11 a.m. Anyway, apologies to the people in Western Australia. Tune in at the regular time to catch conversations this afternoon.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in for our good morning test. Hope you enjoyed it. For those that stuck around, as Brad said, we'll be back at check your local guide. It's about 2:30 East Coast Daylight Savings Time. Anyway, thanks everyone. See you then.
See you later.